was Arion set up and who was behind it back when it was formed in 1996?
Arion was originally set up by Jeff Powell and Chaz Amon. They used to work in the pedigree department of Wrightson's Bloodstock, and the opportunity arose, I believe, for them to actually take on board the cataloguing, so they created Arion, and it is what it is today. I believe then that the Vallas purchased Wrightson Bloodstock about a year later. It's known as NZB, so that's how it all came about.
You came on board in, I think it was 2007. You'd been a horse dentist prior to that.
Yes, I was.
What's your role with Arion on a daily basis?
Well, aside from running the company, day-to-day tasks, I am a programmer. So alongside Jeff Powell, we maintain the systems. So we keep the database working. We keep the in-house programs working and the website going. We also have a lot of queries from different clients. So we're constantly producing data in an array of different styles. I also travel a lot. So I go to all of the sales and client liaisons and all of that. So it's very hectic, very busy.
You're a self-taught programmer, and one of your other staff is also a programmer, and you've all got horse backgrounds. Do you think that is what gives you the edge over other pedigree providers?
Oh, yeah. All the staff, they all started in the stable. So they've all got the humble beginnings, so they all know what it's like to get up in the mornings. And I feel that as programmers, understanding horses makes a huge difference. If you're working out seasons, if you're working out ages of horses, I think it definitely gives us the edge over other companies. As being programmers, understanding horses, we don't have to waste time talking and dealing with other programmers and explaining the situation, so we can actually get stuck in and get the job done. It's great.
Today, Arion remains the leading independent thoroughbred pedigree provider in Australasia. Apart from stating the obvious, Kyla, what service does Arion provide and how is it used?
We provide information. That's all we are really, is data. We basically, aside from the cataloguing, we provide information to the breeders, to the studs, to trainers. It's all about information and people coming to us with a theory that we can prove for them or disprove.
Kyla, you're dealing with breeders every day. The inquiries you get over things people are wanting to know must be extremely vast. What sort of things are they wanting to know?
From one end of the scale to the other, comparing their stallion with the stallion's sire at different parts of their career, looking at the number of foals the mares have had and how many group winners they've produced and whether the dam and the Grand Dam produced group winners. Statistics. The studs are always wanting statistics. They're wanting to know how well their stallions are doing in comparison to other stallions. The media. We do different queries for the media, focusing on if there's a big race coming up, who's won the last race, who else was in it. It's anything that we can provide for the thoroughbred industry. We try our hardest.
There's such a vast array of pedigree information on the site. It spans right back to 1940. Breeders can bring up anything from sire statistics, stallion lineage reports, they can pull up their leading progeny, and they can compare stallions at the same stage in their career. How many full-time staff are dedicated to updating it all?
Updating the data, we've got 9 full-time staff, including myself, 2 programmers. We have 7 staff basically loading racing from approximately 75 countries. We've always felt that the more data that we get on, the more accurate our statistics are. They're way more accurate. You can say if you have a mare that's had so many foals and you get all of the racing on, all of your statistics are a lot more accurate. So we have 7 staff loading that information. And it shows up on the website and all of these different array of reports which actually come from our clients. Clients come in and they request a report and we ask, can we put this on the website? So it's brilliant.
Perhaps the biggest part of your business is providing the updates for most of the major sale companies. Who are your clients that you're supplying?
Magic Millions, New Zealand Bloodstock, William Inglis, Peter Milling, Brisbane Bloodstock we did used to do, Cape Thoroughbred Sales in South Africa. We did, I believe, 2 or 3 catalogues of the Japanese English version, plus we do all the private stud books. We do a fair bit.
Arion Pedigree information provides such a wonderful library for people from the public. Anybody can access it. How important is that as a tool for the breeding industry in New Zealand?
Well, I'd like to think it was very important. I would like to think that the information that people need is easily accessible. So we are constantly working with that to try and improve that. We love any feedback. We love to be told what we're doing wrong so that we can fix it. And we hope that we can turn Arion into something that's great, that's global, that's worldwide, that people love to use and they find it easy to use. So we're always trying to change and keep on top of things.
It was great to meet the face behind Arion Pedigrees and to showcase what a wonderful service Kyla provides. Well, it's now time for Kiwi Bred Abroad, and this week we're off to Australia to link up with New Zealand Bloodstock's Richard Haynes.
Hello and welcome to Kiwi Bred Abroad, brought to you by the Singapore Turf Club, racing in Kranji every Friday and Sunday. Well, in the Australian racing industry, there are some young Kiwis doing some really good things. And when it comes to tough professions, there aren't too many harder than becoming a racehorse trainer. Well, today we catch up with a young man making a really good fist of it. I speak of Bryce Hayes. Well, Bryce, you've been based in Australia for 7 years now. What drew you to Sydney from New Zealand?
Look, I was an avid Sydney race follower from a very young age, and look, I'm very passionate and parochial about my roots and being back home. The thing that sort of probably that drew me to Sydney is the competitive nature, and it's definitely dog eat dog. And I just sort of thought if I had exposure to Sydney racing, I thought it would stand me in good stead for wherever I wanted to go in the world, basically. When you arrived in Australia, you spent 6 years under John O'Shea's guidance. What did you learn from John? John runs a really good ship. He runs a really good business, and he's a hard taskmaster. I'm indebted to John for the exposure that he's given me, basically through basically being his understudy and assistant trainer to him for a long time, and it's probably what propelled me to be able to gain my licence now, really. And just through that exposure, I'm very fortunate at this early stage to deal with some very valued clients, basically. You've been granted boxes here in Sydney. You're now a metro trainer. Has this always been a dream of yours? Look, it has. There's no denying that. It's just I'm over the surreal bit. I sort of whether it would ever happen or not. But look, I definitely dream big, and I chased it very hard, and I certainly worked very hard, and it most certainly is the dream. But we enter another phase now where, as I say, we've been fortunate with the clients we've got and the quality of probably stock that we've got, that it's going to be a very telling period, probably in 12 to 18 months, where we sort of have to produce some results. You have been back in New Zealand supporting the New Zealand Bloodstock sales, both the Ready to Run sale and the Premier Yearling sales. What attracts you back to the New Zealand Thoroughbred? There's no doubting that our brand back home punches well above its weight, and I think there's always an avenue, providing you do your homework right, that we can hopefully source and buy the right stock out of New Zealand. And obviously we go through a process of giving them plenty of time, but look, I've got a couple of clients that have done that for a while and buying out of New Zealand, and I'm sure that the fruits will be all there to be bared because of the time that they give them and the quality of stock that's produced out of there. Like, I'm great mates with Mark Chittick, and Mark and Gary have been they're great people. You can ring them up and have a chat and ask them any sort of advice, and I like to go back and hopefully patronise our home product. I think the other thing is that there's upside to buying out of New Zealand in terms of what you get, with some upside to that, and that's very, very important when taking your clients to a yearling sale or a ready to run sale. That the upside that you forecast is there to be able to be purchased, basically. So with a young and exciting team around you, I bet you're really looking forward to the next 12 months. Yeah, we certainly are. Look, we've certainly purchased across the board, and we've got a couple of really forward 2-year-olds that I'm sure that we're sort of going to produce probably in the next 2 months, and the way they come in hand at the moment is very exciting. And then we also have got a couple of horses that I think that we purchased in New Zealand that you might just see in the autumn. we got an outstanding Rip Van Winkle colt who we've got a pretty high opinion of all the young horses that have come through the stable so far, and I think he's probably going to come up a lot sooner than what I anticipated.
Dean, you had all the action, 370.